Hi everyone, this is Angelica. Thank you so much for watching this video today. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Soul Star Chakra, the Higher Heart Chakra, and the Earth Star Chakra. And I'm going to be talking about these chakras in relation to my own experience so you can kind of see the energy that they create in the body. And if you have been experiencing these things as well. Now, everyone has the 7 chakra system kind of already working online. However, when you go through a spiritual awakening, or sometimes you're born here with there more chakras available to you to utilize, to learn from, and to grow from. So these 3 chakras are definitely working in my life, and I started to become aware of them in about 2007 when I was very connected to what's called my Soul Star Chakra. Now, I recognize that there is a certain group of people that are very in tune with the Soul Star Chakra, and these are called rainbow children, or I've always thought of it like more of like rainbow warrior. That's what I've just kind of felt myself as. I know there's like crystal children, there's indigos, but I've always been in attunement, and I've always felt this rainbow energy within me, around me, and so I really relate to the rainbow energy. And the rainbow energy usually is very aware of their soul star chakra. So before I even knew what a soul star chakra was, I could definitely feel it. And the soul star chakra is above the crown chakra, about 8 inches above the head or so, and it spins really brightly, like it's kind of like it's a star sort of, and it has many points on it, but because it's spinning, I can't really count how many points it has, but it seems to have a lot of points, and it spins. And so I became very aware of my soul star chakra in the beginning of my, hold on one second. I'm turning off my phone, even though it's already off. It was still buzzing. Okay. So when I started to recognize that I had this soul star chakra, I started to really come into awareness of what my mission and purpose was on the planet. And this chakra definitely connects you to light beings, the angelic realm, and all of those higher realms. So my soul star chakra made it very clear to me that I had a mission here, and that was so clear that it kind of governed everything that I did in my daily life from that point forward. I feel that I've always had this soul star chakra there, but it wasn't like fully activated until around 2007, when it was so active that I just was getting signals and signs, and I recognized what my mission and purpose was. Well, parts of it. I didn't recognize the whole thing yet. So this definitely can clear fear in regards to your mission and purpose. So the soul star chakra, it's like a no fear chakra. And that's why when I was talking about the rainbow energy, the rainbow children, they kind of have no fear against what is happening on, I think they get a little bit worn down and like, tired from the outside influences saying that, what they're bringing through the soul star chakra onto earth is not, the way it is here. And so I think that these types of people do get a little bit, tired of the constant having to bring the energy out again and again and again and being called things and stuff like that. But usually people with a really activated soul star chakra do not have any fear in regards to their mission and life's purpose, because they recognize that it's imperative that they act upon these things and really push through all of the opposing views of their mission, and they just keep moving. So basically, when the soul star chakra is fully active, the karma is completed, meaning, like, for myself, in relation to my particular mission, I feel I didn't come here with any karma. And part of the reason is because I never lived a life on earth. So it was my struggle to really connect my soul star chakra to my earth star chakra, which I'll talk to you in a minute about. So when working with the soul star chakra, if there's karma to clear from past lives or anything like that, this is where this energy is cleared through the soul star chakra, as in relation to the earth star chakra and the higher heart chakra. So these three chakras work together in relationship to each other to manifest a fully embodied, empowered human being here on earth. So I came here in quite shock to earth, because I recognized definitely what needed to change and what needed to be fixed, and that there needed to be more harmony and love here. But because I wasn't so connected to the earth star chakra and it wasn't in balance yet, I wasn't able to actually move forward with some of these things that I knew or felt or knew that I had to complete here. Now, as far as the karma thing's concerned, since I don't have any experience with that in particular, now it doesn't mean that karma, I don't understand karma necessarily, because I've never had to work with karma before. I came here from somewhere else completely, and so the whole idea of karma really kind of doesn't make so much sense to me, because I can only speak on things I actually have experience with. Anyway, so it does help the karma is complete when this chakra is fully open, so you don't have any more karma to work with. The other thing the soul star chakra does is it reveals your spiritual gifts and abilities. So when the chakra is fully open, you're really aware of your spiritual gifts and abilities and how you can work with those and be able to, express those in the outer reality. Now, if none of these things are connected to the higher heart and the earth star chakra, then you'll have a really hard time doing that. You'll feel like you don't have fear. You'll feel driven. You'll feel so driven to complete a mission or a purpose, and it will keep driving you, and it'll be the most important thing in your world. However, if it's not tied to these other two chakras, or if your chakra system is out of balance a bit, then you will not be able to move forward with any of your any of the guidance that you're getting through your soul star chakra, your gifts, your spiritual abilities, and stuff like that. So this chakra also amplifies your life's purpose, your mission. So when you have this chakra activated, you feel like it just consumes you. Your mission consumes you. You don't sleep at night if you know you're not completing your mission. You cannot do anything else in your life unless you know that you're moving into and living your mission. So that is another aspect. So now I'm going to move into the higher heart chakra, which is above the heart and in between the throat. And to tell you the truth, the reason that I'm doing this video today is because I recognize I have some blockages there in this chakra. So now the higher heart chakra, even though I do have this working somewhat, there are some blockages there, and I didn't recognize those because sometimes as we're progressing on our spiritual path, we will, when these chakras start to open and activate and really come online, what happens is we will feel the expression of the chakra. However, things still are there that need to be cleared. And I'm really, really blessed to have a really good friend who has helped me to really feel things in my body. And so I have always recognized in working with her, when I have something coming up, she asked me to recognize where I'm feeling it in my body. And every single time, I always feel it in my upper lungs. And so it's in my higher heart. Now, what the higher heart represents is love for all humanity. So I do have that going for me. I do recognize I have a lot of love for all of humanity as a whole. However, I feel like certain things in personal relationships for me have been more difficult. Even though I don't recognize it, there's still debris there left over from things that have happened in this lifetime with personal relationships that I've had. So every time I get upset or anything's going on, or I'm playing the story over in my head and I feel it in my body, it's always in my higher heart. So this does link the soul star chakra and the earth star chakra, and so that these can move through in a balanced way. And they call this chakra the seat of the soul, the unified heart. So taking that love that you already can express in the third dimension and taking it to a higher level, universal love. So I've always had that universal love aspect, but it seems like the love, when it has to do with like past experiences I've had, although I've thought that I had forgiven, it seems that I haven't. And see, I start to get a little cough, and I start to get, when I'm clearing the chakra out, I get, this is where a lot of my stuff is. So it's really good to recognize where you're having, things come up for you and how you feel it in your body. So this chakra rules acceptance of all belief systems, acceptance of and compassion for all. So I think I have a little thing there that that I have compassion and love for where everyone's at, but I do feel like there's certain people that still to this day, in my view, are not on board to creating this higher love. And this creates a lot of conflict in my body, even without consciously recognizing it. And what really brought this up is, well, there's been a lot of things in my personal life that have been going on. There's, been some deaths in the family and stuff that I would normally, okay, these things happen because I'm so in tune with like the mission of the earth and understanding that these things happen. But it just seems that lately it's been a lot of things happening and people getting some kind of sicknesses and stuff, and people that mean a lot to me and that I care a lot about. So I'm like, okay, I usually just kind of, I don't block it, but it seems that I don't dive deeply into it and feel it. So it was really random that yesterday I was just driving to go running, and I saw my ex, who lives in town, but I don't ever see him or anything. And he actually, here I go in the blaming, but when I met him, I was very young, about 17, and now I'm 35, I'm almost 36. And so that was my first relationship, and I loved him so much, and I gave everything I could to him, but yet he was very dysfunctional and very, it was very hard for me to understand how someone could be so dysfunctional. But coming from my family of dysfunction, it seemed quite normal that I should be in a dysfunctional relationship. So when I saw him, I immediately got really angry, really angry, which I have worked with this similar issue for years. But as we go deeper on our spiritual path, we get to deeper and deeper layers of this. And it just seems like in between these solar eclipses and the solar flares and everything that's happened kind of in my personal life, that this person is he seemed like he was at the very root of any of my anger towards certain types of people that choose to not care about anybody or live their life in a way that's very destructive to our planet. So, and he was very destructive towards me. And so this morning I was just writing about it, writing about it. And because my friend had, told me to feel what's deeper and deeper and deeper beyond. And then, of course, it goes all the way back to my father and my issues with my father, and my father being very similar to that. And me not wanting to put all the blame on him, I put a lot of it on my first love. So this brought up so much in me yesterday when I saw him, and I just it just kind of blew everything open. And I had been in a process of really going within myself and really feeling some of the things that I was feeling lately, because we continue to grow and we continue to, balance our chakras and keep ourselves open and more loving as time goes on. But sometimes we block things that are too painful to look at, and we consciously don't know that these things are even there, because we are just kind of going through the day, doing what we need to do, but like diving into those deeper feelings and emotions would kind of take us off track for a while from what we need to do. And so that was what was happening with me. I was taken off track with what I needed to do, and it's like I couldn't move forward. I was kind of just like really feeling, and for some reason didn't have the energy from my soul star chakra to keep moving forward with what I needed to do, until I saw him and realized that I had still unresolved anger with him and then my father. So this higher heart chakra is really interesting, because it not only allows us to have compassion, empathy, joy, and peace and serenity for humanity, but taking that into regular personal relationships as well. And that's where I've always kind of had a disconnect. I could love everyone as a whole, and yes, I do love him and I love my father, but as long as I don't have to see them or like deal with them, then it's easier for me. But this has affected my personal relationships, and the higher heart chakra also governs over unconditional love for personal relationships and being close with other people on a very intimate and personal level. And this is where I've had blockages. This also is where we hold a lot of negative emotions, grief and sadness. So it helps us to give and receive love. Allows for very loving communication and stuff like that. So all I know about the higher heart chakra as of right now is that I have some clearing to do, and I've been doing that clearing. And I've had Saturn in Scorpio, which is my 12th house, for the past 2.5 years, along with the eclipses have been hitting points in my 12th house, different degrees of my 12th house. So I've really had to really go deeply within, even though I've been going deeply even before. This has really been like there's no turning back. And this last eclipse, it was yesterday, 0 degrees Scorpio, really I felt like was like one of the last like pieces of the puzzle. And it would be so random that I would see him driving to go running. Like, why was he even in this like he doesn't even live in this neighborhood. It's so weird. And it was on the eclipse, and we've had like 10 solar flares, that I would see him on that day. So it was very significant if you to look at your astrological chart to see where eclipses are hitting in your chart, and just to recognize how those relate to your own personal journey and your own personal growth. So another aspect, and then I'll get to the Earth Star chakra, of the higher heart chakra is that it connects the higher mind and the wisdom of this love and compassion to the inner child. So our inner child is wounded and hurt from things that have gone on in the past and in our childhood. So it connects the two. And in that connection, I feel like that's where my unresolved stuff was. Like I feel, I just feel like, even though I have a higher understanding, because my higher chakras are very active and I understand why these things happened, and I do know that I wouldn't be who I am today, wouldn't be doing this work at all. I wouldn't have compassion for people who've gone through similar experiences. it's still really, I still have some pain there, because these people are still there doing the similar behaviors and activities, and it's like, it's just interesting. But not everybody is awakened, and not everybody understands these things, and so we still have to have compassion for them. And as I said, now that this has come up to the surface, I can talk about it, and I can resolve some of these issues within myself. So the Earth Star Chakra is the chakra that's about 12 inches below the feet, and it connects us to the entire Earth. And not only to the entire Earth, but to the pain of the Earth, the pain of all humanity. So in about 2008, after 2007, when my Soul Star Chakra was opened, it was about 2008. I actually remember the day exactly, and I've talked about it in previous videos, where my Earth Star Chakra, I feel, had come online, and where I actually had to ground the spiritual energy into reality, into my physical body. And when that happened, I was so scared of that happening. It's like the soul coming in and merging with the physical body. The reason that this is so painful is because you're not only connecting your soul with your physical body, and it's not only your pain that you're dealing with necessarily, it's the pain of the earth, it's the pain of humanity, it's the pain from everything that's come up until now that you are, in a sense, clearing because you have the capacity to do so. Most likely, if you're on a spiritual journey, if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you have the capacity to go through certain experiences so that you can relate your wounds and your hurts with humanity's wounds and hurts. And so when this chakra was activated, I felt immense pain that just was so deep that it just permeated my entire being. And it took me like days and days of crying to even be able to walk again or like go to work. It was very painful. It's like I didn't want it to happen, but it had to. Because how can you take your soul star information and bring it out in a practical way on Earth if you are not activated in your Earth Star Chakra? So it helps us to ground these spiritual energies. It helps us to be able to relate to regular people on Earth, to be able to feel safe and grounded on this Earth plane, and to be able to work with some of these deeper, darker energies that can be more difficult for us to work on when we're up here all the time. So I specifically remember connecting there and allowing my soul to connect with this earthly body. And that was, like I said, a very painful experience. And I think this is something that a lot of spiritual people struggle with and this is what I want you all to know and understand, is that if you have these things going on within your energetic body, the reason it's so difficult, and I've explained this to a couple of people in the past few days, because I think it's really important to understand. Hold on one moment. It's important to understand that your pain seems so great because it's not only your pain. You are acting as a vessel for this higher love. And you had to go through pain. So, okay, I'll say the pain I went through in my childhood, yeah, that's my pain. And had I had to work on that myself and get rid of that, it would have been over by now. And the reason why spiritual people look like they have a lot of issues and they go through so much and they can't just get over the past, it's not that. What it is we not only go through our own pain, but then that pain is like set up in our bodies, and when it releases, it connects with humanity's pain, and it balances that dysfunctional pattern in humanity as well. So if you really recognize what's actually going on here and what we're actually doing, it is so beyond anything that's ever been done. So we don't have to be hard on ourselves. We have to recognize like what's actually happening. And I get emotional because I think a lot of people on the spiritual path just like feel defeated, and they feel very tired, and they feel very like, whoa, I must be really messed up because I have this pain. It just won't go away. It seems intensified. It seems amplified in comparison to what other people go through. Well, it is. And that's the reason. Because you're not just dealing with your own pain. We're here as light workers, as awakened beings from wherever we're from. And it could be that we've been here on earth many, many times if that's our path. But we're here bringing these energies and healing them not only within ourselves, but within humanity. And as we go deeper within ourselves and heal more of what we went through, it heals more out there on the planet. So I just really wanted to make you aware of these 3 chakras and have you feel where, you know, where you're at in relation to these chakras. If you possibly need a little more work, or you need to balance these things, then you can do that easily by just having the intent and then speaking with your soul and allowing your soul to help you with these chakras, because these are needed. These chakras are very needed right now in order to bring this higher dimensional love here to the planet. And I will continue working on my higher heart because I've recognized that this is where I still hold some things. And sometimes we can't, like, 'cause I overanalyze this stuff all the time. I'm always trying to figure it out. And sometimes we can't figure it out. It's almost like something from the outside has to trigger it within us. It's almost like we have to have an experience that makes it really clear that that's what it even is. Because you can really analyze it all you want, and it's not going to really help. So everything comes in divine time, and everybody's on the perfect path that they need to be on, and you're right where you need to be. And don't be so hard on yourself. This is really hard work that we're doing, and congratulate yourself for, you know, signing up for this and for being part of this. And one day we're going to have one big celebration and party, and actually something like that might be coming up soon, and I'll keep you guys posted. But I want the whole world to be in celebration. I want the whole world to be a big party and celebration all the time, where we can live in happiness and love and peace. And we're moving towards that. We're getting there. And we're getting there by the work that you're doing. And so I want to thank you all, and I love you all so much. And I'm here with you. You know, we're soul family, and we have each other, and you're not alone. And yeah, so that is my video on these 3 chakras, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.